double doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. One star, would not recommend that we go far from here. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. Stop the world.
A music podcast for the culture. Wild, wild thoughts.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We are in the house, and the house is packed. Say what's up to my little cousin Rex. Say what's up to my co-host Mars. V-Ray should be hopping back on with us soon. I'm Dame Wild. Follow us on all our socials at Wild Bunch if you want to follow me and watch us on, watch us on Instagram Live. Just hit me up at Dame Wild, DameWilde. That's where I'm at. So look, man, before we get started, before we jump into all of everything, let's give everybody a minute to get in. Let's breathe, let it breathe a little so we can get everybody in here so we can get this party started right. So everybody know we on. I don't want us to start talking too soon and people don't know that we on yet and they miss some good stuff, because I feel like last time they missed some good stuff because we jumped right into it. So people was asking us to repeat a lot of stuff that we had already talked about. So I'm going to give it a little minute to breathe, give a little minute for people to join us and join in. What's up, Shannon? What's up, Alicia? What's up, Dominique? What up, J Diddy? Over on Instagram. What up, y'all? Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for watching. Just to give y'all a little overview of the topics we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the hangover. It feels like there's a hangover after that wild 2-week run. It feels like we having a crazy hangover right now. So we're going to talk about the hangover. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the hangover. We're gonna talk about Stevie Wonder just celebrated his birthday 2 days ago, May 13th, the legend. And then we're gonna talk about how everybody, it feels like everybody trying to have beef. I don't know, it just feels like Cat Williams maybe opened Pandora's box or something, because it done spilled over into everything. Even Club Shay Shay and Uncle Shay and Shaq is beefing right now. So, it's just like it's all over the place. It's everywhere. So we're going to get into all of that. All right, so let's start first with the legend. Happy birthday, Stevie Wonder. One of, if not one of the most important artists in all of music history. Not black music history. Like in all of music history, probably one of the most important, one of the most influential artists of our lifetime for sure, but I think also of all time. If you look at his body of work, the amount of people that he has inspired, the amount of people who've been like, I call it Stevie's children. You know what I mean? Like the people that you would consider to be Stevie's children. So I just want to talk about his legacy for a little bit, talk about what he means to the culture, even now, what he means to music, and what has he meant to you personally. I'll start it off, man. Stevie Wonder is one of the most incredible songwriters ever. They say he got like a vault full of maybe like 5,000 or 6,000 songs that we haven't even heard. So I can't even imagine the amount of hits that are in there that we don't even know about, haven't even heard, especially from, he got hits, he got stuff in that vault from that era in the 70s and the 80s, the Master Blaster area, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy the amount of records that he has written and the amount, like the way we could perform one of the records today. And it's like from 8 to 80, everybody's going to get up, everybody's going to move. And what he's meant to me, man, like I said, I always kind of aspire to try to reach just the hem of his garment in regards to being an artist, like being a songwriter, being a performer, like, watching all the things that he's done as a songwriter from Motown. Like, some people are really good at one thing and a little better at another. You know how usually, like, if somebody's a super good songwriter, they're not like a great artist, or they're a great artist and they're not a great performer. But like Stevie checks all the boxes: a great performer, great artist, great songwriter, great composer and arranger. Um, you know what I mean? So I mean that's what he means to me. That's how I look at him. He is one of my top 5 all-time artists. To me, he's up there in that rare air with Prince and Michael Jackson, which I don't think there's a lot of people in that place. I don't think there's a lot of people in that realm, and I think it's safe to say we could put him there. I'm glad he's still here with us. You know, we've been like losing a lot of our legends lately, man. So I'm glad he's still here with us. And not only on that side, people don't know, but he gave us KJLH in LA. So even like Black radio in LA, we can attribute to Stevie Wonder. You know, for especially for what we have now, it's not even like a lot of places for us to call home in radio. So, you know, want to give a shout out to him for that. So, V Ray, tell me what does Stevie mean to you?
Well, I think I have some of the same points that you just made because I think as a musician, his influence hits different. I mean, there's always the political side of and the activism side of his music, and just the black culture stories that he tells in his music, from love to societal stuff and all that. But from a musician standpoint, he had all of those things. Prolific songwriter, like you said, and I think the first real album, I would say, that really influenced me as wanting to tell more, not necessarily intellectual stories, because there's always room for ratchetness. Don't get me wrong, but just from excuse me, uh, um, the idea of using music as a voice, to say shit other than shake your ass, you know what I'm saying, and that kind of thing. That really is where I think that was the Hotter Than July album, the one with Master Blaster jamming, and Rockin' Love, I think, was on that same album, which was a whole other vibe from a chord progression standpoint, you know what I mean? And musical structure, I thought that was a genius song. Um, we Don't Want Your Kind Around Here. I forgot what that one was about, how they were redlining housing and stuff like that. And there's a song about that, but it's so clever the way he built the melody and everything. Really, you can still enjoy it as a song, whether the political content is there or not. So I just think that really turned the corner on me as a songwriter and arranger, which I'm nowhere near what he does from a production standpoint, but just how clever he is to fit an oddball melody over some even odder chords that if you heard them separately, you wouldn't think of those two, merging as a song. So it's just that, man. It's just his influence and his ability and being unafraid to speak out on cultural shit, from a black perspective. There's a lot of boxes that have been checked for me over time. So I really have grown to really appreciate him as an artist, like you said, that hits multiple genres, hits multiple markets. Everybody can see the genius in his work. So I have nothing
Well,
but good vibes. Yeah.
yeah, and you know what? To touch on your point, V Ray, about his songwriting, I wish I could remember, but there were like 3 songs when I was like going through Stevie's catalog where it's like he's saying some real jacked up shit to a chick, but it's so beautiful you don't realize he said some cold shit to her. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's a kind of skill that a lot of people don't have to navigate to where it's like you saying some cold, like, bitch, I'm out, but it's probably like
Yeah.
one of the prettiest melodies, the prettiest
Yeah.
piano, and just how Stevie is good at pulling emotion. I think, to me, that's one of the things I feel like a lot of artists today miss, even if they're making dope, good records. I feel like a lot of artists are missing that emotional pull, like when you hear a song and you feel it in your soul. Like
Yeah.
if somebody puts on If It's Magic right now, I could be in the best mood ever, but I still probably be about to cry by the time that song ends, because it's like so beautiful, and it puts you in that place every single time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there are certain songs that Stevie got that could just put you in an emotional place. And that's another thing I appreciate about him. You think about the record he wrote for Michael Jackson, Can't Help It. You listen to Can't Help It, and it's just like, boom, it puts you in the mood of that song. Like, you probably not even going through that at the moment. You probably not even dealing with that. But when you hear the record, it makes you feel that way. Like, he's really good at pulling heartstrings in that manner. Mars, what does Stevie mean to you?
You guys touched on a lot of great things. I think two things definitely jump at me. I think in the '90s, more so the '90s, growing up, there was a lot of heavy Stevie samples. Like one of my favorite songs is "Footprints" from Tribe Called Quest, and I didn't, realize that was a sample. But it's like during the '90s and whatnot, you're hearing samples and you're going back and you're discovering all these new artists and whatnot. So that's what Stevie means to me. Along with the working which she's done with Quincy Jones. The other thing,
Right.
this is I gotta be me. It's like all the jokes in which you made about blind people and driving.
Yeah, like people like that dude can see. Well, you know what too? I'm glad you brought that up, Mars. The sampling aspect and the amount of people who have sampled his records, the amount of people have interpolated his records. Like for example, I know Clark Sister's biggest record ever. You Bought the Sunshine. They said that was like a takeoff of Master Blaster, right? Like that was their like version of Master Blaster, and it was like the first time it was done in gospel. And if you think that record is probably like the through line to all contemporary gospel now, because they were one of the first artists to take it from the super traditional to that, and now you can kind of add Stevie Wonder to being a part of that influence, which is huge, right? So he's even had that touch on. So he's touched hip hop in that way. Where one of my all time favorite Tupac songs is a Stevie Wonder sample. A lot of people don't know Tupac So Many Tears is That Girl by Stevie Wonder. Super, super slowed down. Shout out to Shock G. Don't get enough credit as a producer too, but the way he flipped So Many Tears, and when I heard how he chopped it and where he got it from, I was like, yo, that is brilliant in itself. But again, to do So Many Tears, to do the Tribe Called Quest record, I mean, we can go on and on with the people who sample
Coolio,
Stevie. Yeah,
Gangsta's
Coolio, like so
Paradise.
many people, yeah, and Gangsta's Paradise was like a staple in the 90s for all of us. You know what I mean? Like that record was huge, so he's had not only his own kind of like his career, his catalog, but he had a renaissance of sorts with other artists kind of sampling him. And what I did appreciate about most of the artists that I remember sampling Stevie, they kind of gave him props. You would see him with Stevie live on the award show. They would bring him out to do the song with him. You know what I mean? Like they gave him his flowers in that way where it's like, oh, that's a Stevie song. Like I'm gonna let y'all hear Stevie do his version. And I always thought that was dope. And yeah, it's so crazy because I don't know how far, like if you really try to talk about how far his reach goes, I don't think we can even really fathom how far his, because like if you don't have no Stevie, do we have Alicia Keys? If we don't have no Stevie, do you like so there's like a lot of artists that you probably don't have if there isn't a Stevie. We got the youngin on Rex, we got the youngin on. So tell us from your perspective, because you didn't grow up on Stevie like we did, but I'm sure he's probably infiltrated your life in a way. So tell me.
And nigga, don't say Mr. Wonder neither.
No, but like even hearing superstitions in the movies, like that, like from a kid, like just hearing that constantly over and over, like that is like a dope ass record to me. Because watching what's that movie with Jamie Foxx, Haunted Mansion, like even from that like trailer, it's like damn, like this guy sounds good. I want to dig deep. So even digging deep from like what is that? I think it's is it Ribbon in the Sky, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh man. That record right there is I personally love it because I never heard of it. But my cousin put me on. Tajanique was just like, yo, listening to this record.
I feel old.
It is no, but like listening to that record is just
What up,
like
Tony?
it can put you in so many places, like y'all said. But just hearing that superstitions in like almost every other movie, and then watching it like on commercials, like on Ford, and all this other stuff is just like, yo, this guy
Well,
is
that's why I say his catalog has kind of taken on a life of its own, right? Like, so even if you like, if somebody at your age will hear Stevie Wonder through that, somebody like us who grew up on it, and we even made it through the weird phase, through the jungle fever phase.
like Lady in Red, was it?
The Lady Red phase. Like that, he had his little weird phase, but we made it through. But like I said, the way he touched all these decades of music, touched all these different genres of music, man. I think he's one of the GOATs for sure. And I just wanted to make sure we took our time here, to give him his props. And at the end of the show, when we do our super duper group, this super duper group tonight is going to be dedicated to Stevie Wonder. So everybody, we'll let y'all know later on how we're going to do the super duper group tonight. Now, let's get
wait,
into.
before you
Go ahead.
jump,
Go ahead, Mark.
I have a question for you. With the state of music that it is right now, this is more so like along Europe for you and V Ray. Why would you say that Stevie is not sampled as heavily as he was in the 90s and early 2000s?
I wonder if his licensing is protected like that. Is this maybe his estate protects? Like Prince for years wouldn't allow people to sample his shit. So some artists are like, do your own shit. Come up with your own track. So maybe the people that have sampled him were exceptions to the rule. I don't know.
I think I feel like it's a change in the sound of music. So because the music has shifted, you think about a lot of the music that's out now and a lot of samples that are used. Take out Kendrick during this battle because he used a lot of soul samples, but people haven't been using a lot of soul samples, and the samples they have been using have been darker because hip hop is a lot less melodic than it was 10 years ago.
And
like
it's not like Stevie Wonder is talking about actual shit. Nowadays, our generation now, like my generation, we don't talk about shit. Like we just talk about money, weed. Like it's not entertaining. Like I said, this Kendrick and Drake beef was hip hop. Like it felt like hip hop was back. Like you can honestly feel like hip hop was back. Nobody nowadays is talking about shit. So that was the only
right.
shit.
So and that's the other thing. So if that's your subject matter, it's kind of hard to like use a Stevie joint because his stuff is so rich and so thick and so layered.
Shit. They not
Yeah.
gonna talk about
Not
shit.
only that, but he had a lot of different genres. Like when you listen to, I'm gonna go back to Hotter Than July. All that shit is not funk. It's not all like R&B, like love melodies and shit like that. It's all over the place. Like As If You Read My Mind is a great song, but I couldn't see that as a sample just because of the type of music, the cadence, the tempo, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's hard to see that as a sample unless a producer's like super clever to take it out of its natural habitat and repurpose it.
You would need like a Jay Dilla chop. You need like a Jay Dilla type chop. But everybody now, a lot of people
Daniel
don't
Crawford.
chop like that when they don't chop like that when it comes to samples. Now they basically lift the whole sample, just drop it, put a filter on it, and put 808 drums on it. So
Puff Daddy shots.
It would be So it would be hard to do that type of sampling that they do now with Stevie records, because again, like I said, like and also to V Ray's point, like you can't just drop a 808 on Stevie Wonder because of the not only the cadence, not only the sound, but also like the instrumentation used, the frequencies, like not to get super deep into the musical side of it, but just like the way his music is produced, it would be hard to just, I'm gonna drop this and drop an 808 and some hi-hats on it. I don't think you could really do that with a Stevie sample and do it justice, because somebody probably did it and they're doing it, but you couldn't do that and do it justice and make it a super dope record.
Right.
I wouldn't listen to it, so I don't know.
But
well, like I said, it's just
more musical than the average person in your age range, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've been exposed a little more. But like I said, I think because music is less melodic, it's not only Stevie. You think about like you don't get a lot of, because like back in like the So Def and Bad Boy days, you're gonna get some Gap Band samples, you're gonna get some David Bowie samples. Like you don't even get a lot of that no more overall, if you really think about the things that are being sampled, you know what I mean? And the funny, like I was thinking like, what was the biggest record that had like a sample in it this year? I think it was like a Meg Thee Stallion record or something like that, but it was like a 90s hip hop, and like the flip is not the flip is not really clever though. Like the flip is basically like, I'm just gonna take this 90s record and put drums on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think even though the approach is so different that I don't think you get the same vibe and the same feeling from it. But yeah, man. So let's talk about this beef hangover, man. I feel like there's a hangover because of that crazy 2-week run. And I feel like that was the most united that hip hop has been in a while. And then even more, the most united the West Coast has been in a long time. Like, not only did the beef, but I think the culmination of like Not Like Us, I think that brought LA back outside. I think that brought like the West Coast all the way together. Like I was like there, it haven't felt like this probably since West Side Connection. Like
Because
when
you
West
got,
Side Connection.
because you literally have a song that speaks to the California sound, and there's a sense of pride where it's not just California, but it has a global impact.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's like we said on this show last week, we said the way that what up Dominique, what up Tony, what up Neeson, Jay Edmonds. Oh, we got a bunch of people over here on IG. What up, y'all? Yeah, tap in with us. But yeah, I think because we haven't had that in so long. Now you get it, and the Not Like Us record. He made a line to it in Euphoria where he said, "Y'all don't fuck with the West. That's fine with it. I'm gonna push the line with it." That was like a little peek into what was coming. Like, and when I heard that line, I'm like, hell yeah, because I felt like people was lightweight hating on him. Like a bunch of the East Coast podcasters, like the Ebros and the
No, not Ebro. It was like DJ Academics,
academics, Gilly did no Ebro
Royal,
too though. Gilly the Kid when they first heard it, everybody talking about, oh, don't nobody want to hear nobody rap to no sleepy music and who raps to an Al Green sample. Yeah, like it was like lightweight hate until even Mace and what's my
Cameron.
man Mason Cameron.
But
Yeah, like
but
Mason,
then,
like they was all hating, like Kendrick ain't
but
winning until they
but
had to give it up. There was no choice.
right, because it was such a massive embrace of that song. And the thing about it is, like, we also, when not Drake, when Metro them said splitting up the lines for sides, like you saw how many people were literally entrenched in OVO business, and that business aspect had them, quote unquote, making favorable decisions. It's like, stand on your morals and your ethics. It's a good song. It's bumping. There's nothing you can say negative about it.
Well, that's the thing is like we said on this show, the way Drake wins this battle or the way Drake comes back is to drop a straight club bop. It could be a straight club record or a club disc, but it got to go hard. And the fact that Kendrick beat him to the punch, that's when everybody knew it was over. It didn't matter what record he came with after that. It was too late because Not Like Us has that thing that Hit 'Em Up has. It has that thing that Get Money has. It has that thing where even after the beef is over, that record is gonna be played in the club. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right. And
Like,
I agree with you. It has all those elements. It has the comedy in it, but at the same time, I think what makes it so amazing is that for anyone that doesn't necessarily follow Kendrick, he simplified his verses so that a massive audience could get it.
because
He
everybody
also
had been saying, "Oh, he got the double entendre. It's too deep. Don't nobody want to think that hard." So he's like, "All right, I'm gonna give y'all this Cali ass beat. Like, you don't get no more Cali right now than DJ Mustard. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just jumped on a Mustard beat, and then just like you said, laid it out simple, straight ahead. And I was like, he beat Drake at his own game with that.
And it
But
was
I
also
said
a
all that to say,
surprise.
huh?
It was also a surprise.
It was a surprise, and he stepped on every moment Drake thought he had. Kendrick stepped on it. So not only did he win with records, he won with records and strategy, and that brings me to like how we been this week. It feels like there's like a hangover, right? Or is it just me? It feels like
No,
there's like
it is. It is.
Yeah,
if,
you were.
and it feels
Not
like other people
really.
trying to jump in and spark it like the game trying to beef with Rick Ross. We like
Why
nobody give a shit about that right now.
Yeah.
are you doing that?
And what was that about anyway?
Against that?
I
I
promise.
mean,
I
I,
feel
I
like
wasn't. Maybe I missed something, but what sparked the beef with Game and he just
I
made
think
it work
game.
out.
Nigga, we don't know.
I think Game just wanted to get in some like he like, oh, it's hot right now. LA is popping. I think he just was trying to stick his neck back out there because
Yeah. That's right.
there was like it felt super manufactured.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Because I was like, nigga, just rest on your laurels. You ain't gotta like try to jump in. Like, remember me? Like you game. You
That's
know what I'm
exactly what
saying?
it feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
And
you
at the
He
doing
like,
same
too
oh,
much.
time,
everybody beefing. I got to get some of this. Let me get some of this. Let me go at Rick. And Rick Ross made it worse because one, Rick is not even responding. When he do respond, it's just some funny shit on Instagram. It's not even with a song. He's just
Yeah.
responding like, I'm out here eating lemon pepper. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just like responding with some dumb shit. Like,
Look at my cars,
mhm.
my
yeah,
Bel
yeah, like he
I mean,
responded talking about
Air.
his cars. Like,
like they had said, someone said that he had responded eating a cereal out of a Louis Vuitton bowl,
yeah.
cereal bowl or
And
something
then
like
you
that.
had Soldier Boy going at Metro for a tweet Metro made 12 years ago. So he going hard like this shit just happened yesterday. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Start talking about the
What
nigga
you
dead mama and
doing?
stuff. Like, bro, what is happening? But I feel like people are like, they see this moment, they trying to manufacture moment. And I think what they don't understand is why it's not gonna work is because this Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole moment wasn't manufactured. You know what I
No,
mean? Like that shit was
no.
very organic. It happened
That
in a
shit was
really real way, and it
that was
rolled
pure
out in
hate.
the yeah, it rolled out in like it wasn't manufactured. It rolled out in a really, really real way, and I think that's why one it captured the hearts and minds of so many hip hop fans and even non hip hop fans. You know what I mean? Like I think like you had like politicians talking about the beef on TV. You know what I mean? Like so it went outside of the zeitgeist of just like hip hop. Like it really entered pop culture at a way that I haven't seen. Like honestly, I don't even think Biggie and Tupac beef at the time that it was happening had
Mhm.
entered
No.
pop culture the way this one did. Like I
Well,
think the Biggie Tupac was more. It was like the hip hop. It was like the biggest thing in hip hop at the time, but it was like still strictly hip hop. I
I
feel
feel like
like this beef went out to the pop world because Drake is a pop artist. What you say, Lorraine? You breaking up?
I said I feel like it was more street politic than rap beef because it got real.
Yeah,
Like it got
yeah,
into violence, so it
Mhm.
was more real.
Yeah.
I think
But
it
you
ended.
know,
yeah,
in my opinion, man, one, as far as the rap, the beef hangover, I say good riddance to the shit. I mean, it came and it almost overstayed its welcome, in my opinion. Now, niggas come for me on Instagram and shit, but I think that it had its place. If and I was glad when Kendrick sold it up the way he did, and Drake didn't respond again, or when he did, he kind of like handed in his 2 week notice on the whole beef and just got the hell out of Dodge because it was like niggas it's two strikes in the bottom of the knife to being too much, to going too long. A
Well,
and
also,
then
I think we're. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and then like I keep referring to uh Kendrick sparking some Cat Williams kind of shit when they started going back and forth. That's the same thing that happened in comedy shit where all these other comedians will start, posting and shit, saying shit and
Yeah,
trying to justify what the fuck and all this. Like nobody even asked you niggas like what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Niggas answering questions and ain't nobody asking shit. So it was about to go there. I mean, it still did. Excuse my voice. It still did, but it could have been worse if Kendrick then would have went a little longer. You would have seen way more than Game, and you know what I'm saying. Somebody would have came
yeah,
for him again, or some other
yeah,
badass judgment shit. And it's like, nigga, just let this shit end. It was them, it's not you. Just sit the fuck down, enjoy the shit for what it was, and move on. Excuse me. So that's my thing. Oh, one other thing that I know the niggas gonna blast about. The DJ Mustard beat, it was cool for what it was supposed to be, but that motherfucker ain't no fucking banger to me and shit. I mean, there's some West Coast bangers, and then there's the DJ Mustard song. I think Kendrick made the beat more than the beat
Ah,
made Kendrick, and that's just me. But
I don't know. I think that shit is a
that
banger.
shit sound empty as a motherfucker with them damn Casio keyboard ass strings and shit. I was like, West Coast, it's a West Coast artist representing like a motherfucker on some mediocre shit to me. I mean, it's a cool beat for what it was supposed to be for. If this nigga would have dropped that as a single with no backstory to Drake and shit like that, niggas would be like, what? I don't know. That's just me, but I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's being put on a pedestal that I don't know if it deserves and shit. The beat, not the song, not the intent, not the lyrics, or none of that shit. Just take the vocals off and just hear for 4.5 minutes, nigga. You'll fucking break all the dishes in your kitchen.
So Ray, let me ask you this question then.
Yes,
Outside of this song, what would you say was the last song that was released that had a California sound to it?
I mean, this is niggas. It's like what's old boy's name? That of course I ain't gonna be able to say his name now. The nigga that sounds like I just heard
YG.
No,
on a commercial stage.
Yeah, this was on commercial station. Let me get back to you on that. Let me remember this nigga's name. He rapped like Nipsey Hussle a little bit. Shit, hang on. I got this nigga in my playlist. Hold that thought. Let's move on. I'll blurt back in when ain't nobody paying attention to this question no more and shit and tell you.
All right. Well, for me, I thought it was a banger. I like the sample, like the original sample that it came from. I thought it was dope. It was clever how to me he chopped it up, because a lot of times I feel like even though this was a usual empty mustard beat, I felt like it had a little more beef, a little more fat to it, a little more substance than the usual. But that's just me. Teddy, what up, man? He says Soak City 310, baby. He's talking about some of the other artists.
Other artists with West Coast
from the West Coast. Now to your point, V-Ray, where you say, to your point, V-Ray, where you said you feel like it's over, and it felt like it was getting to a point of overkill for Kendrick, because it just feel like at this point Kendrick was just pummeling, like he just was stomping him out.
Yeah.
Would it still be overkill though, or a good idea or a good look if they drop like a West Coast remix of that?
A remix, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, I'm just hating on the beat only. If somebody came, and Mars Nipsey Hussle was one example. That wasn't who I was talking about. But nigga, close your eyes and pick one and shit. but yeah, I think a remix would have gave him way more West Coast credibility, and even not necessarily even a throwback to like the old, Zap sample claps and all that shit kind of thing, but like a Daz Dillinger beat would be more, appropriate, I think, or Superfly production, or
I would want a quick beat.
A DJ Quick beat. Excuse me, but a 2024 DJ Quick beat. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that I would have felt more receptive to it, even though I loved it because he just creamed fucking Drake. So he could have just did that shit a cappella, and I would have liked the motherfucker. But I'm just saying that from a production standpoint, that shit don't make me turn it up when it come on in the car. Personally, I won't turn it off, but I won't like, oh shit, I'm saying it down that motherfucker. Yeah, that don't hit me like that.
Yeah, let you go to a picnic with Meg Stallion like clones. You be like, oh shit.
So, that's just my 2 cents.
Well, and let's talk about too, man, how I feel like, some of the people's opinions I think have been a little East Coast bias, or maybe old head bias. You know what I'm saying? But Questlove, let's go to his Instagram. Questlove says something to the effect, he said, nobody won the war. This wasn't about skill. I disagree. This was a wrestling match.
Is it recent or that was back when it was going on? Is it something recent or back when it was going on?
This when it was going on. This May 7th. He posted this May 7th.
Okay, my bad.
Misleading and
so he said, so he said nobody won the war. This wasn't about skill. This was a wrestling match level mudslinging and takedown by any means necessary. Women and children and actual facts be damned. Same audience wanting blood will soon put up RIP posts like they weren't part of the problem. Hip hop is truly dead. Now, I disagree with this for many reasons, but the biggest was, let's start with the biggest for me is, where did they where did we start with the everything in the diss record got to be true? Because that's never been like the litmus test for a diss record. Like you look at the biggest diss records of all time, you go back to literally No Vaseline. I can't even say some of the shit that Ice Cube said about them in that record. We wasn't like, oh nigga, this record is whack, because that ain't true. Jerry Heller didn't really take a broomstick to MC Ren. Like that wasn't the that ain't what we use to calculate how good
And
like it was like how dope was the record.
Come on now, bro. Like it's a bunch of
Tupac literally started hitting him, and we still don't know to this day if any of that is true. You know what I mean? But like it was weird that it was just like this new rules being injected into this beef, and I honestly feel like it was because people was trying to find ways to save face for Drake, because so many people was caping so hard for him in the beginning. Like after he did push-ups and after he did Tailor Made, they was just like, I mean, everybody was with the beef then. Everybody like, oh, he killing them, and what Kendrick gonna do? I remember everybody, Kendrick, you on the clock. It been 10 days, it been 11 days. And then when he come back, oh man, we gotta stop this beef. It's just too much. like nah, make up your mind. Y'all all asked for this.
Summer vibes.
Yeah, I'm on my summer vibes. I'm going on vacation. Like, nah, nigga, you said nah. Don't try to you asked for him to come outside, and he came outside. Now you talking about acting like you too good for this battle. I'm too good for this. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was whack too. Like that approach. Like
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I think, the mistake that, I haven't listened to everyone talk about it. The mistake in which Drake made is that he underestimated Kendrick. He thought that he was a better lyricist than Kendrick. And he thought that all he needed to do was just drop that one song, Family Matter, and that was it.
But he also thought that he could keep it one-dimensional as far as the lyrical content.
What do you say? He yeah. Oh.
Huh?
Yeah, he was gonna keep it PG. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. And Kendrick actually dropped the fucking. I forgot that the DDT on this nigga and shit, and he's like,
yeah. And the thing about it is Drake is an idiot because he didn't learn his lessons from Pusha T, where it's like you don't bring, another man's wife or family into it because you saw where it was going to escalate. And it's almost like it's like he doesn't necessarily understand who Kendrick is, where it's like, okay, I'm going to bring your wife up again and I'm going to keep making jokes about it.
Deeper still, if Pusha T killed you, what the fuck do you think Drake is going? I mean, I'm sorry, Kendrick Lamar is going to do to you if Pusha T took your lunch money and shit? What the fuck are you going to go and try to go chest to chest with Kendrick for?
So let me ask you this question, all three of y'all. Assuming that there is a Not Like Us remix, do you think Pusha T jumps on the remix?
Yes.
Oh, that would be that's
yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
That's the eargasm right there.
Oh, yes. That would if he did that. Oh, that would hurt. That would hurt bad though. At that point, I would feel like they crip walking on his body.
Yeah. But remember, in the video, Drake was showing off Pharrell's stuff. And remember, Pusha takes all that stuff very, very seriously.
Well, listen, I would love it, but I'm just saying at this point, it would literally be like beating up on a dead body. Like if you get Kendrick and Pusha on the record on like the remix together, oh my God. It's like, I don't know. It's already an unfair fight one-on-one with each of them. You're going to put these two together on the record? That's an incredible idea, and I hope somebody hears it and it happens. But like I said, I really would literally feel like that's just not even about who winning or losing. This is literally about a victory lap on while he laying there knocked out behind. Brandon Red made a good point too. Brandon Red said Drake, or
if I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, like they're already beefing, Future and Metro back on the same shit unless they do it again. I don't know. I'm just saying. That
ain't the same. Yeah, that ain't the same. Exactly. No, that ain't the same hype as Pusha.
Metro doesn't need to do any remix with this BBL Trizzy all over the place. He got merengue remixes.
Brandon Red said Drake thought he was gonna be able to deliver the knockout with Family Matters, and you could tell because even by the way he ended, he like, I pushed that red button. He thought it was over. He thought it was done. And then Brian Burdett said, there are no rules in rap battle. Family Matters would have stopped an average rapper in their tracks. K-Dot is a different breed. You probably talking about Meet the Grams, right? Oh no, yeah, you said Family Matters. Yeah, that probably would have been you're right, Brian. That probably would have been a knockout for any lesser rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I think They Not Like Us would have to be only West Coast artists. I do too. And
That's a
even
good
then,
point.
I still would think it would be. Still think it would be Crip walking on that nigga grave. Like if
Yeah,
you put all the
yeah.
West Coast.
Two niggas that murdered him and shit get together. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all want to see a dead body? Like Boys in the Hood.
Meanwhile, Push is
Like
talking about
a
drugs
throwback
and
to
cocaine.
Like,
a
what?
throwback to one of Neeson's old lines and shit where he says niggas can kill him, but then motherfuckers fight over killing what's left of him or some shit. He said,
Yeah.
they'll fight over the niggas leftovers and shit. I want the
Yeah.
cremation ashes, nigga. I want to piss on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's been dead for 2 weeks. I don't give a fuck. I've been holding this piss for 2 weeks.
Right. And then like you was talking about earlier, V-Ray, where you said you just feel like everybody trying to jump on the beef train and the beef
Fucking
shit,
ridiculous,
man.
yeah.
We have Shannon Sharp and Shaq beefing. And for anybody who don't know what happened, so let me set it up. Shaq was talking to Nikola Jokic about him winning the MVP, but before he talked to Nikola Jokic, he was on his show Inside the NBA, and he was talking about how like he feel like Shea should have won the MVP. So then when they got Jokic up, he said, "Look, man, congratulations, but I think that Shea should have won. I mean, Shea should have won the MVP." And Joker wasn't tripping because Joker, he really don't care about shit, honestly. But Joker was like, "Yeah, I mean, or whatever, but I won. Congratulations, like I ain't tripping." But then Shannon Sharp got on his late night talk show and was saying like, I feel like Shaq said that because he was jealous. He's jealous that the Joker got all these MVPs and he don't, and he was jealous that people looking at the Joker like he's one of the top centers in the league and he's not. Now, mind you, I could understand if you had criticism of Shaq saying that to him in his moment. Like if you wanted to say like, "Oh, I feel like Shaq kind of stepped on his moment. He shouldn't have said that to him. Like that wasn't the time or place." I could understand that, but then to go the step further to speculate like that, oh, he's saying that because he's jealous. I think to me that's where Shannon went a bridge too far because you don't know if that man said that because he was jealous. So then Shaq came back and said like, it ain't about jealousy. He like, I was trying to defend Shea. I feel like Shea didn't get his props, so I'm trying to say on my platform, I don't think he, should have been the MVP. I think Shea should have been. Shea had a great season, just like he did, but I feel like Shea had a better season, and he had his team with the number one seed. Like all the criteria that usually get you the MVP, he seemed to have met it, and he still didn't win. And I didn't like that. Shannon Sharp was saying that. And of course, Shaq a big baby, so he came back with a whole ass rap song. I ain't even listened to it though. But
Oh Lord.
yeah, but so I just want to talk about like, do you think because of the Cat Williams shit now that Shannon Sharp is trying to find these little irons to keep himself hot by getting into shit like this? Because that's what it feels like to me.
Well, nigga said the Cat Williams thing was his biggest payday in his fucking career.
His biggest career.
So yeah, I would if I could do it legitimately. You know what I'm saying, with integrity. The shit he's doing is not that, but I'm just saying that would be an avenue to try to repeat from a payday standpoint.
Yeah, because I was like, now I feel like he keep getting in skirmishes and getting in little shit with people, and I'm like, all right, now it's starting to feel like he's doing it to kind of like you said, try to find another Cat Williams moment, even though that Cat Williams moment wasn't manufactured.
Yeah, exactly.
Brandon Red made a good point. He said Shaq is very jealous and petty though. He said some things in the past that comes off as old hating on the new old nigga hating on the new generation. You right. I cannot disagree with you about that. Shaq is very petty and very jealous. We know from his time with Penny Hardaway. We know from his time with Kobe Bryant. I think the only person he didn't do like that was Dwayne Wade, but that might even be some shit, We didn't. He said, remember his beef with Dame Dollar over his contract? No, I didn't. Tell me about that, Brandon Red. I didn't know you had beef with Dame Dollar about his
What?
contract. Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, so I mean, it could. I could stand corrected, Brandon Red. It could be like he's seen some of the things that you saw and feels like well, he definitely made beef with Dwight Howard. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
yeah, he.
that's the thing. Like Shaq has that reputation of being very sensitive about being the best big man, and it's like any single time in which you challenge that notion, he takes offense to it. And I think that's the petty side of Shaq, in which I don't necessarily like. I think with Shannon, I think realistically, he may not necessarily have been following the cat mode. But the thing is with Shannon, he is now ever since get and I give you credit, Dame, you are correct. Ever since that Cat Williams interview, he's looking for these moments. Even when you watch him on First Take, he's looking for those moments.
Yeah, he said he made a song about Dame Lillard. Damn, I missed all of that, Brandon Red. Okay. All right, so maybe Shannon Sharp was on something. So maybe, like you said, two things can be true. Maybe he said they had a whole rap beef. He said Dame responded. Oh, I might have to go check this out. Like I missed
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
I missed the
Yeah.
Shaq Dame Dollar beef. Yeah, I missed all of that. But yeah, like two things can be true. I think Shaq probably could have been jealous. I think he could be jealous of the way Joker's talked about, but also I think Shannon Sharp is using certain things to try to find moments
Mm-hmm.
because he's been saying a lot of outside of the realm shit about different people on his late night show. Where I feel like it's like he's like trying to see what can catch fire, what can go viral, what can keep
Yeah.
people talking. And I think
And I would,
that's a dangerous game to play because you don't want that to be your brand.
Right.
yeah, yeah. And I wouldn't put shit past Shaq. He told Kobe to see how his ass tastes.
Yeah, yeah. Cause hey, Shaq is a petty ass jealous nigga. He is.
Hey,
But
hey.
but I also think too. This for me, and I'm not trying to get deep into the sports side of things. I'm just talking about the beef. But for me, when I hear Shannon Sharp talk about how Shaq only had 2 MVPs and he should have had 5, but I'm like, the Shaq had like 3 Finals MVPs. Like, why do you put more to me? Why do you put more into a regular season MVP than like more stock into a regular season MVP than you do into a Finals MVP? I don't,
Mm-hmm.
but of course I know that's because that's the metric a lot of people use for LeBron. Like LeBron got all these MVPs, but for me, I'm just like I'd rather have a dude who don't have no regular season MVPs and got nothing but Finals MVPs. I think Kobe got one MVP and he got
OBE, nigga.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like I'd rather have that, but but like I said, back to what we were talking about. I just think Shannon need to be careful and toe that line a little better of just trying to be like he don't want to be what DL Hewley called him. He called him Wendy Williams with a weight set.
Oh my God.
That shit was horrible. That was a tear up right there. That should have been a rap beef at the beginning of the rap beef by itself.
He called him Wendy Williams with a weight set, man.
Yeah.
So Brandon Red bringing all the receipts. He said he's had beef with JaVale McGee, Rudy
Yep.
Gobert, DeAndre
Yep.
Jordan. All of them are centers, and he always seems to feel threatened for no reason. Yeah, if you ever threatened by DeAndre Jordan, my nigga, God.
But you got to think about it. Shaq has always been a dominant big man, so I don't understand why he feel like any of these other niggas. Have we ever seen another Shaq? Be honest.
No.
Okay, so what the fuck is he getting mad for?
Well, because if you're insecure, it don't matter. Like if you because I think he might be insecure in his legacy. And Shannon Sharp did bring this up. He said Shaq knows he didn't maximize his talent when he was in his peak. Shaq knows he should have had more championships. Shaq knows he didn't work as hard as he was supposed to work. And he says Shaq knows so I think when people hit that shit hit that Shaq ego and it hurt him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he knows that he should have been talked about in the GO conversations, but he didn't work the way he was supposed to. when he was in the peak of his shit, and that could be someone because that insecurity, because his basketball career is over, that insecurity is probably never gonna go away. He can't never get that back.
Yeah.
No,
True. Yeah.
no, I agree with you. And like, watching the way Joker has been playing as of late, yo,
That dude
I,
is out of his mind, son. Like I like it's not fair. If
mhm.
if you 7'2" and you in his face and he still make a three, just go home. Just go home. Like just like when somebody
What
doing
if
something like that, what can you? I'm just gonna fire on you because there ain't nothing else for me to do. I just gotta fire on you. Ain't nothing else that I could do. But yeah, but again, I think Shaq. I wouldn't have said that to him at that time. I think it was a time and place situation. I wouldn't have said that you don't deserve the MVP. You know what I mean?
Mhm. No, but it speaks to that narrative where
Brandon Red said, "Hold on, it's not showing up."
he said when we thought Dwight could be another Shaq, but wait a minute, disappeared.
He said, "Yeah, when we thought, yeah, that was disapproved. Shaq didn't embrace it. He was threatened by it. He was when they start calling. Shaq lost his shit when they start calling Dwight Howard Superman. Like
Yeah.
once they start calling Dwight Howard Superman,
Yeah.
Shaq was on like he lost his shit. He was on super petty mode after that, and
Yeah.
he gave that dude shit all the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess yeah. Hey, y'all could be right. I stand corrected. B Red and Brian Burdett. I stand correct. Y'all right. Shaq is petty. He is egotistical, and he does try to make people feel small. So like I said, maybe both things can be right. Maybe Shaq was being jealous, and maybe Shannon Sharp was using that moment to try to spark him another viral moment. Yeah. All right. Before we get out of here, go follow Wild Bunch on all of our socials at Wild Bunch, WYLDEBUNCH. We are going to be starting a Walk It Back challenge next week. If y'all want to win a TV, we will be doing a Walk It Back contest next week, and you'll be able to win a TV. So start learning to dance so you can make your videos. So y'all can get entered into the contest. We will. When we gonna drop the rules? V Ray Monday. We're gonna drop the rules Monday.
I think Monday. Yeah, Monday day
or Friday, so people can get it over the.
I mean, they can be ready for it. So yeah,
all right. So Monday day we're gonna start. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll drop the rules Friday, so y'all can hopefully start turning in y'all joints and be ready for us to start posting on Monday for the contest. You will win Amazon TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you will win Amazon TV. So that's what we're gonna be doing. All right, before we get out of here, man, Mars, you was about to say something. What you was about to say, Mars? I see you have a thought.
I forgot.
All right. That's that old people shit. That's that old people shit. All right, so tonight, super duper group. For tonight, y'all know at the end of every show, we do the super duper group where we tell you to pick 4. It could be sometimes we'll do like what's the 4 male singers, what's the 4 female singers from the 70s, like blah blah blah. Well, tonight, since we had Stevie Wonder's birthday, we're gonna do a special super duper group. Tonight's super duper group is pick any 4 artists that Stevie Wonder collaborated with, worked with, wrote with, played with, anything, and make a super duper group out of 4 of them. Who want to go first?
Damn, that's abstract as a motherfucker. I'll go last.
I'll go second to last.
Go Rex. You don't know shit about this, so go ahead. Kill some time while we think, while the old people think.
I know about like 3 people that I know off the top of my head: Smokey Robinson and Michael Jackson. Yes, but I forgot the other female group. I forgot what that group is called. Damn, it's a female group that he wrote for, but that's the only 3 I can think of right off the top of my dome right now.
All right. I'm trying to think of what group was. All right. Let me see. What 4 I would put in a super duper group that Stevie Wonder worked with. I would put Stevie in the group. First of all, Stevie's gonna be in the group. So we have Stevie, we have Michael Jackson. Stevie, Michael Jackson. Who else has he written for that I like? This harder than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
This
big.
harder than I thought. So
Well, I'm using Google, and I did not
okay,
know.
Stevie, Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie. Oh,
Okay.
go ahead, V-Ray. You didn't know what?
Oh, I didn't know that he worked on Ebony and Ivory, the Paul McCartney joint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't really like
yeah.
that song. It's a cool
So
song.
so
Like,
there. Oh, that was my jam.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Didn't
Ebony
he
and
have a song?
Ivory.
Did he have? No, he didn't have a.
No, that was him and Paul McCartney. I'm thinking of I saw Ebony and Ivory, but I was thinking of the Girl Is Mine song. So I thought he wrote that for Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney.
Oh,
But that was actually him and Paul on that joint.
mm.
oh, okay.
Eurythmics, I didn't know he wrote Eurythmics either. That's a surprise.
Damn, I didn't know that.
No.
Yeah, that's a surprise. Annie
Yeah,
Lennox, she got pipes too.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I would say Michael Jackson.
Oh, and the lead singer. So
What were we about to say?
go ahead.
Oh, Diana Ross.
Oh no, I
he
got a
did-
delay over here. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Michael Jackson. He did he worked with Diana Ross. Yeah. See, Brian knows what's up. And Sarita, the chick that he ended up marrying, Sarita Garrett.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they did early work, and
She a beast in herself. Her pen.
Oh, I got
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I think she co-wrote "You Are the Sunshine of My Life" with him, bro. So I don't know. I only got two that I can think of, but you know, his catalog goes back to damn 1962. So you better know some shit. This nigga catalog is so deep. They released his anthology in 1977.
Damn.
Had so much shit. His anthology came out in 77. His first one, I guess.
I got it.
You know, so
Right,
Yeah.
right.
you gotta have school.
Well, I will have. I will add. So I do Michael. So I'll do Michael Jackson. I'll do Stevie, Michael Jackson, Stevie, Marvin Gaye, and the lead singer from the Spinners, because Stevie wrote "It's a Shame." It's a shame. So that would be my four.
Yeah.
Well, I'm following the New Edition track, so I'm going with Shaka Khan, Quincy Jones, Eddie Murphy, Rick James, and Jermaine Jackson.
What did he do for
Eddie Murphy.
What did he do with Rick James?
Eddie Murphy.
Hell yeah!
What song? What did he work on with Rick James?
Oh, I know. Hold on, let me find it. I was surprised when I saw Rick James. I was like, Rick James? God, he worked with Jimi Hendrix. This is ridiculous.
Brian, you right. Brian said, "Got to give Stevie credit for Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise." Absolutely.
Yep, most definitely.
Wow.
He worked with Herbie Hancock. This is ridiculous.
That's what I say. Like his catalog, it goes so deep, man. You can do this shit all night.
Yeah, just to discover who he worked with behind the scenes and you know publicly and shit. It's deep, man. 62 to damn 2024. That's 62 years of something. All right.
V-Ray, 1981, Mr. Policeman, harmonica.
Oh, harmonica, nigga, that ain't. You went and found some message in a bottle shit. Like it's a little corner of Stevie Wonder in his wine bottle.
Hey, he still wrote those notes.
Well, he did. Damn, I feel for you. If that's the case. Him and Prince worked together. If in that case.
Hey, I can honestly say that my group's after party is going to be lit.
Yeah. You fuck around. Yeah, I guess so. I was about to say you have to have a seance to bring them niggas back from the dead. But all them niggas is alive still, right? Anyway, I digress. Had someone else write it while he said it.
Right, but yeah, so
Brian, you crazy.
yeah, well, you know, we just I'm not touching that, Brian. I'm not touching that.
They're like, nigga, we can't read this Braille. You gotta tell us what the fuck this shit says. Nigga handing it all Braille street music and shit. Yeah. Hey, man,
Y'all not
Gordon,
sending me to hell tonight. I've been doing good
Braille
today.
sheet music again, huh?
I say y'all not sending me to hell tonight. I've been doing good today.
Hey, man,
Well, I'm going to hell on a scholarship already, so I got my 2-bedroom apartment already picked out.
You got your dorm and housing.
I'm there. Excuse me. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Well, shit, man. This has been a great show. Thank everybody for joining us. Like I said, follow us on all of our socials. This is Wild Bunch, Wild Thoughts. We are here on Wednesday evenings, just talking about the culture, talking conversations about music, the culture, everything, you know, entertainment, anything entertainment. We here to touch on it, man. Oh, and quick shout out to Plies, because Plies was talking shit to the president and Kamala Harris last night, talking about how they messaging is terrible and they don't do shit. And they actually came out the next day and got behind the podium and was talking about all the shit that he like, y'all tweeting this bullshit. Y'all need to get on TV and say that shit.
Yeah,
So, hey, shout out to Plies, man, for getting involved, man, for using his voice in the hood. Because he didn't censor himself. He didn't say Mr. President. He said, Joe Biden, where your motherfucking ass at? Like, he's like talking just like that. But I guess the message got through, man. I guess the message is clear. So shout out to Plies for that. But we'll see y'all next week, man. And anybody, if y'all ever want to join us on the show, just hit me up. We'll talk about it. Let y'all know what we're talking about. And we'll get some guest hosts on with us. All right. Until next time, we'll see y'all. Wild Bunch, Wild Thoughts. We out of here.
Stop the world, let me off. I don't like this destination. I like a transfer to the express line. I gotta get off. Electric slide to the devil doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when